Hello, everyone. I had to get.
Yo, welcome to the stream. What's up, man? It's gonna be a short stream today, though. Very short. How are you? Yo, Bia, what's up, man? Yo, Ruin. Yo, Lafayette. Ja, bei uns geht's ab. Da hast du recht. I noticed the Frame Whisperer video dropped 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I just saw it pop up. Like, I didn't plan to watch this because this just came out. So, why don't we watch it? Shall we wait a little bit, or? Are you going to finally start your Street Fighter journey? No. I do just play Tekken, I just don't complain so much when I play anymore. It is what it is. Because Street Fighter is not a 3D fighting game. It's not a replacement. It's a different genre almost. Therefore, no point. GG's on your loss with L, you know who? Ah, okay, yeah, whatever. Don't matter. Do we get some conspiracy today, or are we just chilling? No conspiracy. Unless there happens some major stuff. They released the... Oh, there's one thing that we could talk about if you want to. Epstein, like, they said that he killed himself, and the people said that it's not true that he did. And then back in the day, they said that there is no footage of the cell. Like, the cameras were turned off. Do you remember? Now they randomly pull out a 12-hour, like, apparently they say they have now the video that proves that no one went into his cell. I don't know where that comes from, if they said that there is no camera surveillance. Now there is all of a sudden. We have to see. And they claim there is no list and stuff. Of course there is one. Okay, let's see what he says.
Hello, everyone. I had to get up early for work this morning, and I was able to just catch the tail end of Mike Hollow and King J's reaction to the Tekken talk that happened last night, and it was pretty heartbreaking. They looked pretty heartbroken, almost as heartbroken as Michael Murray looked having to give that presentation. But they were talking about at the end how they are getting to this sort of breaking point with the franchise now, where it is seriously starting to feel like they want to give up on it and kind of leave it in the past. And I think everybody gets to that point with Tekken eventually. For me, it was like a year ago. For Eris, it was more like 2 games ago. But it just shows that if you go far enough in the wrong direction, you're going to end up alienating and then eventually losing even your most hardcore fans. You know, the people have been playing since Tekken 1. And I kind of want to get to that topic and why I am moving on to a different fighting game franchise in this video. Before I do that, though, I need to include a small digression, because I promised I would include a message at the beginning of this video. If you saw the last video I uploaded, it was a clip from a recent stream where I was talking about how there are kind of these two aspects to Tekken culture, right? You have the competitive players, and then you have the people who are more interested in customizing the characters, or with the story, or with cosplaying as the characters, or making fan art of them, usually quite thirsty and sexy fan art of them. And the competitive scene is kind of in a bad place and dying right now, so we only really have the art community left. And right as I'm talking about this, a video appeared. I was scrolling Reddit, and it was a video basically of Lars and Elisa making love. And they made some like pleasurable faces, and naturally I laughed because it was like prophetic, perfect timing. They were making some cum faces, so me and my community, we laughed because we had like a really enjoyable interaction with that video. I left a like and then I moved on. The reason I turned it into a clip was that was genuinely the highlight of that stream, and people, told me that in the comments. It's a harsh criticism of me because that short video was more enjoyable than like 3 hours of me talking and sucking ass at fighting games. But I had a comment this morning from somebody who knows the creator of that video. Apparently they are a bit embarrassed and sad because they felt that we were mocking the content, and they have decided to take it down. And I just thought that was really sad, because when I said hell yeah and left a like at the end of that clip, that was not me being cynical. I really wanted to leave a like because I really did like it, You can't always expect the reaction you're going to get when you put content out there in the world. That is sort of something that the viewer kind of owns, and it doesn't always turn out to be what you want it to be. You look at Michael Murray, he does a Tekken talk, and he probably hopes that people will, get excited about offline events, or, buy a really embarrassing Karate Kid shirt. What actually ends up happening is people mock Tekken and abandon it for other franchises. But I think if you made something, with love, something creative that, you spend time on and you were happy with it when you uploaded it, then you should be proud of it and you should stand for it. So I hope that you decide to re-upload it. If you do, leave a link to it in the comments on this video, and I will make a community post. People, tell you which videos to take down based on their feelings or whatever. I don't really care. I don't do this to like hurt or embarrass people. So let me know. But I thought it was cool, and I think you should re-upload it, and I think you should make more. So there you go. Anyway, on to the topic of the video. So I'm officially like getting into Street Fighter in a big way, which is a weird thing to say. If you would have told me like 2 years ago that I would stop playing Tekken and start playing Pong, as I used to call it, instead, I wouldn't have believed you, because I mean, the Pong joke, it's a caricature, but I used to call it Pong because you're moving in 2D space and just bouncing balls back and forth. That was my view of Street Fighter, having played it a little bit more. Obviously, it goes a bit deeper than that. But the reason I'm picking up Street Fighter specifically really doesn't have that much to do with Street Fighter. It has more to do with the fact that I've realized this last year that I really enjoy playing fighting games, and I really don't have that many other options. So I played Tekken for 10 plus years. I was making content on it all the time, and then I sort of left that behind, and it leaves a big void, right? So I got really into Path of Exile, and enjoyed that for a while. I thought, Monster Hunter was going to be the next big thing for me, but turns out that Wilds had like 15 hours of content, as opposed to World, which you could play for like hundreds of hours without it ending. And played all these different games and kind of realized that there's a specific itch that only really fighting games can scratch for me, because it's kind of a unique amalgam of things that I look for in a game, and that really sort of mesh with what I'm trying to do with my life. It works really well as a hobby for me. First of all, it's like, I've been playing video games for 30 plus years, and at this point I'm only really interested in playing games that I think are challenging. I think it's, interesting to play games that are difficult to be good at. And even if you're playing something like
we can watch
Ring,
it. Yo, Sportix, welcome.
You can play that enough that you can start speedrunning it. People are playing that game blindfolded. They are, finishing it in 10 seconds without getting hit and things like that. But when you're playing a fighting game, because you're fighting against other people, there's always somebody better, and you're never really finished learning. There's always something you can improve at, a new character that you can learn, a new level of competition, that you can fight against. And so it sort of becomes this like endless challenge, and it remains challenging throughout time. And then you have new versions, new iterations of the game, and it kind of just keeps going. So that's really, really good. You can like buy a fighting game, and if you enjoy the competitive aspects of it, enjoy it for, as long as it's relevant. So that's one really cool thing. The other thing is, like, if you want to be good at something like a MOBA or maybe like World of Warcraft, if you're gonna play difficult content in those games, you kind of have to organize yourself around other people. You have to like get in chats and make groups and schedule times or whatever, and that is very, very abrasive to me. It's not something I'm looking to do when I want to play a game, and if I want to play it.
Do you want to know the moment I started to implement jumping in Tekken? Was when I tried out Street Fighter for like 3 days. And when I went back to Tekken, I started to jump.
Anything above the most casual level, you kind of have to do that with a lot of games. You have to play in teams, you have to organize yourself, and that's not enjoyable to me either. With something like World of Warcraft or an MMO, even if you are decent at the game mechanics and you know your character well, it's also a question of how much time are you going to sink into this game, to be able to qualify for playing the more difficult content. You need to sink many hours constantly into it, whereas with fighting games you can kind of come and go as you like. If you have half an hour, you can, play a couple of matches. You can go into practice mode and brush up your combos. You can look up a video guide for something that you've been trying to learn and work on that. And so it's like, it's perfect if you have time constraints, but you want to play something difficult. You want to really challenge yourself, and you kind of want to keep persisting with something as a project, right? It's difficult to find that anywhere else and in different genres of video games. So fighting games are kind of the option for me. And then you look at what's out there. So Tekken obviously is no longer an option for me because I had to leave that behind, despite how much I love it, because of how it plays right now and the sort of condescending and corrosive way that it is being sold and marketed right now, And then what's happening with most fighting games, unfortunately, is they come out and then within a few weeks, if even that, they already, get abandoned. Even if they sell quite well and make their publisher a bit of money, they don't retain an audience long term. This Bleach game came out recently, and I'm like a huge fan of the Bleach manga and anime, so I wanted to try it out. I didn't get around to playing it on release, but then after like a couple of weeks, when I was like, oh, I should get into that Bleach game, it already had gone down to a couple of hundred players on Steam, and it didn't really have a community anymore. So I ended up not buying it. And it was the same with DNF Duel. I was excited about that game. I wanted it to be good and I wanted to play it more, but it's difficult to do when the community isn't there, because these fighting games sort of live and die by their community. So a lesson that I hope Bandai Namco learned with Tekken at some point. On the other hand, Street Fighter 6 is one of the most successful competitive video games, full stop, in the world. And even though I am well aware of it having its own problems, I know Capcom have made scumbag moves in the past. It has its own problems. It also probably has issues with balance. I've heard people say that characters like Bison were pay to win when they came out. I'm prepared for all of that to be in there, and the frustration and the darkness as well. I'm already getting salty on stream, talking about the characters that I hate fighting against or whatever, but stuff like that comes later down the line. I obviously don't know enough about this game to have an educated opinion on anything yet. Hopefully I will at some point, but right now I'm just kind of excited to get to start over with something new. You look at all those videos I made on Tekken, and many of them are like me explaining the game as I'm learning it and gradually getting better at it. When Tekken 7 was new, I was like a low rank player, but I had learned a lot playing it in the arcade release version in the Japanese arcades, and then by the end, or by season 2 or 3, I was hitting max rank, right? So that was really enjoyable to me, and now I get to do it all over with something that I have no knowledge or experience of. I mean, I've played almost no Street Fighter at all in my entire life, and I have limited experience with 2D fighting games. There's a level you can get to of proficiency in this game that seems astronomical. That seems like it's just so so difficult and so high level what some people are doing. And I remember watching a high level like Tekken Tag 2 and feeling that excitement of wanting to get better. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place to be. And I encourage many of you out there, people watching this, to give Street Fighter a shot if you haven't, because unlike Tekken, which it feels like it's like shutting down at the moment, Street Fighter has a huge community. There's content on the horizon in this new season that people are actually excited about. I think they've shown all the characters right off the bat instead of like teasing them with these question marks. And while no doubt this culture has its own problems and Capcom has its own problems, it's in a much better space right now than Tekken is, or any other fighting game really. And you need that excitement and that community to be there for a fighting game to be exciting long term. It makes the level of competition higher. It makes, just the whole project a lot more interesting. It means you get matches really easy. There are many different like levels for you to be at and compete at as you grow better over time. So yeah, it's going to be really cool. I hope. Hopefully you show up for that content. Maybe you give Street Fighter a shot.
All right, thank you, Crane Whisperer. What do you think? I mean, yeah, Tekken is pretty much in a very bad state, especially considering like how the people defend it. Like, I can't get over King Ray Jr. anymore. He still doesn't stop. So, for example, this is the stuff that we have to deal with. You know what the best part is about Asuka winning a tournament? Story-wise, she's just a butt monkey for Lily. She was hit with crippling nerves, especially in Tekken 8. And then despite the odds, she wins a tournament. Pop the champagne. And they mean that serious, by the way. Crippling nerves. I don't know what to say. And King Ray Jr. is also saying that down back 1+2 is not a real 50-50. And it's just hard to block it in tournament. Okay. Then there is some other fucking shit going viral at the moment. Something called in the Smash community now, apparently homophobia is like rampant. And there was like, let me just show you. So Smash Sisters once again receiving backlash from users on X after posting meetup from featuring mostly transgender players. Smash Sisters currently have the comments disabled. These are the Smash Sisters. Let's see how many sisters there are. Okay, that ain't no sister. That ain't no sister. That ain't no sister. I think that is femshep. Not sure. That ain't no sister. That's... No, that ain't no sister. 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 Hard to tell. That ain't no sister. That ain't no sister. Hard to tell. That ain't no sister. 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 These are just all guys. Yo, Akantos, what's up, man? This is the Smash Sisters page. That is also not a sister, is it? She, her, yeah. Damn, these are all guys? Wait a minute. Is he also saying that he is a sister? That guy with the fucking Viking beard? Shit. Castration movie? Shall we look at this? What is a castration movie? Hey yo, I have to check this joint out, bro. Wait a second.
Today's video is on how to do your own orchiectomy.
I think I'm trans. I think I'm a trans girl. A trans woman.
Are you what?
Yeah, and I picked out the name Tiffany.
Okay, starters, like, my cousin's kid is named Tiffany, so, like, that's not gonna work.
I mean, you're laughing at it. It just feels like you got no, like, fucking theory of mind at all, you know?
What the fuck does that mean?
I guess you have no empathy, Michaela. Like,
Okay, no, I have empathy. I'm not gonna have empathies over, like, you know, it's just a cartoon, right?
Smile, bitch. Smile! Oh my god. Come on, actually try. Slutty! Wait. You would have been so hot as a boy.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, you'd be like just my type.
Do you want to go to Times Square right now?
Okay, so I'm trans. My girlfriend knows I'm trans. My work knows I'm trans. Like, who fucking gives a shit, right? It's like, I don't need to come in and be like, oh, I'm a little cis missy, I got a big fucking vagina. It's like, no, I have a big fucking cock, I'm a T-girl, deal with it. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't affect my life in all way. If somebody wants to assault me for it, I'll punch him in the nose.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh, please. No, Sora, baby, stop. No. No more hitties. No more. No, stop. Mommy will get It's okay. I mean, like, there's some girls there who have been out to get me since day one, who just, like, obviously missed the person who was running it beforehand, and, like, you know, I was already on their shit list, so, like, I don't think that's fair. Like, it can't be like everyone's upset.
Did you ask people their HRT start dates?
No. I wanted to make sure that they were...
You did ask people their HRT start dates and criticize their outfits and voice. You told them they needed voice training?
I don't feel like it's fair for you to get to be in the position that I'm in as a woman. Like, you don't get to be in those spaces like I get to be in those spaces. Okay? You're Trent. You're you, and that's... No, you're not! Like, it's crazy that you just get to come up with that now, and you get to live this experience that isn't yours. Like, you've watched me, we've been in this relationship for fucking 9 years, and you want to be where I'm at, and you're never going to be like me. Okay, you're like putting it on. Like, you think you can like put on a fucking dress and do your fucking makeup like I do mine, and you get to be me, and you don't. Okay, and it fucking scares me to have people like you be in fucking spaces that I get to be in, okay, and I get to feel safe in, and you come in there and you're fucking scaring me. And the way that you're going about this is like so wrong. Like, you're so fucking aggressive about it, and it's like, you don't know what it takes to be a woman, like, in the slightest. Like, you just don't, because you're not one. Okay?
Someday I'll be far away from you. Let me be your fantasy girl. Let me be your fantasy. Just give me some direction. I'm so tired of being this.
There's a whole movie on this? Yeah. Yeah, I just randomly clicked on it because they are, like, I just saw this here. And, like, the Smash community is, like, apparently being transphobic and stuff. Ach, bro, I don't know, man. Leave me alone with this shit. Fuck it. Let's watch the main man, see what he says about Tekken. I need something different now. I need to ground myself somehow with the shill, man. Wait a second, let me just, like, did this guy fucking hit himself in the arm until it turned blue all the time? And then the other fucking guy came and said, no more hitties. No more hitties. Sheesh, man. That's crazy. I am really traumatized. Okay, everyone hates Bryan. I hate Hwoarang. I seen this till here, as you can see in the red bar. But that's about it. So which one do you want to watch first? Bryan? Bryan, okay. Your most recent project, Nova, when did you upload it?
He is so safe while threatening you with the most devastating launchers in the game. And not only is he safe many times, he actually builds momentum on you using these. Bryan is just up there #1 in terms of, if I get a launch,
what was it about?
What does that give me? After all of that
we can watch
bullshit
it.
with the combo, the opponent has to wake up at the wall. If he stands up or if he tech rolls, any way he gets up, this taunt will threaten him. What's up guys, Main Man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. Welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite characters, Mr. Bryan Fury. He is so fucking cool, one of the coolest fighting game characters ever, if you ask me. And oh my god, unbelievably demanding to play, so difficult. Execution skill, that's mechanical skill, strategy, brainy gameplay. It's just above any other character in Tekken history. And Tekken 8 Season 2 took this to its crescendo, to its climax. It's just such a struggle playing this character. You work 5 times harder than everyone else playing this game. And he has shortcomings and weaknesses all over the place. Holes in his game plan, he doesn't hit hard enough, the frames aren't strong enough. This character needs buffs more than any other character.
He's joking.
Well, I wanted to do a bullshit intro and try and, you know, rage bait because, yeah, everyone seems to hate this character. On Tekken Reddit, there are posts everywhere with like hundreds of replies on why everyone hates Bryan. And yeah, it's kind of justified. This character is kind of fucking dumb. But it's funny.
You thought it was legit. I noticed it wasn't.
Hated because of characters like, in my opinion, like Hwoarang, Zaf, and Akuma, who just spam bullshit in your face endlessly. They knowledge check you. It's very tricky to deal with. It just feels so bullshit. I sort of dislike those characters more. Well, I mean, I'm biased. I like Bryan so much. I've been playing him for so many years. But there's no denying Bryan is insanely bullshit right now. There's just no denying it. Certainly, he doesn't rush you down with dumbass stances and a million strings and tricky gameplay and bullshit evasion and panic moves. He's very straightforward. He does basic attacks, you know, and counter hits you and pressures you with strong frames on block. The thing is that what's bullshit about him is that he does that almost better than any other character. He's so explosive. His frames are so strong. His damage is so high. It's conventional Tekken, but it's conventional Tekken taken to its extreme. It's just the damage is too high. The frames are too good. That's where he becomes bullshit. Step 1, in my opinion, what makes him so dumb is his sheer, like, anytime he gets a launch, what that means for Bryan in terms of damage and potential damage. His wall travel is among the best in the game, if not the best. His combo variety, among the best. Damage output, I would say, is the best when you combine it with the wall travel. Oh, let's see. Hup! I'm gonna jump back twice. And I'm gonna do a very basic combo here. So nothing optimal. Very basic. I get the wall. Tick, 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 tick. And I get like huge damage. Note that this is with bigger HP, bigger health pools. We have 200 HP now instead of 180. Again, this was not optimal from an orbital, and I still cleared that much damage. With certain other countered launches, you can get 60 to 70%. I shit you not, he can still hit that fucking hard. After this combo, after this wall travel, after this damage, you still are not in the clear, because now comes the most disgusting Oki situation in the game, and it's due to Bryan's trademark, his signature taunt, right? This is a 28 frame unblockable that, if a Bryan player is decent, leads to guaranteed damage. So after all of that bullshit with the combo, the opponent has to wake up at the wall. If he stands up or if he tech rolls, any way he gets up, this taunt will threaten him. So a lot of people just want to stay on the ground because the taunt is so scary. But then when you stay on the ground, it can threaten you with a soccer kick, like a Kazuya steel pedal, to just keep flipping you on the ground, or bully you with down 4. Bully you. There's no good option here. It's the scariest Oki in the game at the wall. And why is that? Well, because if that taunt connects, a decent Bryan will...
I think Yoshimitsu's Oki is a bit better than even Bryan's. Because you can't misinput anything.
do this. And it does a million damage.
Thank you, Toredi.
That's from a 28 frame unblockable, by the way. But this got even dumber in this game. Like, taunt back 4 is max damage at the wall. But now you see the best Bryan players in the world, like low, high, and knee, they do heat smash. It's less damage, but into good, strong Oki. And now you're like, why would they do that when they can do taunt back 4? And shouldn't they be the same difficulty? Because back 4 is 16 frame startup, as noted below. And the heat smash, as you can see, is also 16 frame startup. That makes no sense. If they can do the heat smash, why aren't they doing back 4 for more damage? Aren't they leaving a lot of damage on the table? And this is weird because they have both the same frame startup. But this is where I'm gonna explain to you that there's a built-in leniency on taunt heat smash that was certainly put there by the developers on purpose to make more people have the Bryan's taunt game accessible to them. Because that taunt game has relied on frame perfect execution for all of, you know, mankind's history, really. So they put in a leniency that even if you're like 5 frames late, like you do taunt.
This is exactly what I said from day one. The problem with this situation is when you want to justify something being super OP by having an execution barrier, then you can't put something like this heat smash into buffer the taunts. Like, everyone can do this now.
And when I'm 5 frames late and I press heat smash, the game will shorten the animation of the heat smash to fit the taunt window. And you get it. It's so much easier to the point where the best Bryans in the world go for this just for its sheer consistency. And it still does 55 damage, it still gives killer Oki, and it breaks the fucking floor if there's a breakable floor. The just sheer amount of stuff he gets from one launch, it's like no other character. I'm gonna stress it again. The explosive damage, the insane wall travel, what wall pressure means for this character specifically. There's also other things we can get into. We can go into Soul Eraser. What is this move? What is this guard break? Well, let me tell ya, if this hits you on normal hit, goodbye. You died. If you block this, oh, I guess I'm -1. I'm back to neutral. Thank you, Tekken 8. If he charges it up, bagoosh, breaks your guard. And you get blown up, he gets to combo you. The counterplay is very strict. If you see him charge it up, you have to react to it and sidewalk it. This is very hard to do on reaction, but it is possible.
I don't recommend sidewalking this. If you have an I-15 counter hit launcher, just use that. Just bang in and down forward 2 in between. I do it also all the time. Walking it is dangerous, especially with considering that you are sometimes maybe in that corner over there. What if you can't walk? You have to CH. CHing is better. Then you get hit by semi-charge. Yeah, no, I mean when you react to him charging it and your walk is a response of that reaction and you don't just guess, then counter hitting is easier, because when I see someone charge it when I'm on point, I can react with a counter hit and not get hit by the fast version.
I think the counterplay is too difficult considering everything this move has going for it.
But you have to be fast.
Another thing is that it
Very
actually
fast.
hits grounded as well. Why does it hit grounded? I have no clue. Bryan is disgustingly stupid at the wall. And there's so much more we could get into, like what he gets with heat, incinerator string, how stupid this string is, even after them nerfing it. reducing its tracking, it is still so unbelievably dumb. Hit confirmable, can stay here at -2. At -2 there, Bryan can do whatever he wants. How many Bryans have you seen do bop 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 and then do this, threaten 1 2 4, which is a countered string, obviously, that will wall splat. We saw Low High do this not long ago in a tournament. Blop blop blop, boom, you died. Right? You're dead. That's a 10 frame wall splat into 90 damage. We're gonna get into more points on Bryan, but I'm just talking about the sheer pressure at the wall here, because it doesn't really end here either. We can also, you know, back 4 alone, safe, right? Kills you at the wall. Another thing about his heat is the enhanced Mach Punch. Forward 1+2, only accessible in heat. This is a high that's +5 on block and does 14 damage on block. If I counter hit you with it, 43 damage. This move has a built-in parry, very generous parry window to make you second guess taking any frames against Bryan for granted, or ever taking your turn against the character when he is in heat. So here I do bop bop bop.
I hate so
Did you
much.
see the damage? That was 36 damage. I'm gonna claim half your life bar yet again. Everything I've explained to you, imagine a really good Bryan player who knows to really take advantage of this stuff, combining all of these mechanics on you at the wall. If that's not some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen in this game, I don't know what is. So that's aspect number 1 as to how crazy Bryan is. But then it's how safe he is. Half this character's move list, I shit you not, counter hit launches you. And almost all of those moves are safe. So Core Circle back 1 is his electric. Super long range counter hit launcher that does not allow you to bound, but still does excessive damage. This is +5 on block. Back 1, +4 on block. Mid this time. Gigantic counter hit launch. Gigantic counter hit launch. That's 80 damage, and again, what I just showed you is not optimal. Forward 3, mid counter hit launcher, right? Counter hit launch. 16 frame startup. This is as rare as a fast mid counter hit launcher that is neutral on block. That's right, I'm not punishable, I'm not even minus. In fact, if I stand further away from you, it's +1. It can go +2 at tip range.
Bro, why is this +2 sometimes?
Range, +2. It's my turn. I just had the chance of counter hit launching you. You blocked it. It's still my turn. 1 2 4. Again, I showed you. 10 frame countered string. Heat engager. Wall splat. Enormously damaging. Enormously damaging. 1 2 1 is also a counter hit natural. -6 on block.
Yeah, that shit, Reina shit was
hit,
so funny,
very
man.
delayable.
I seen it.
It's a counter hit launcher.
I've seen it.
It's a counter hit launcher. While setting free. 12 frame startup from crouching. Counter hit launcher. Down for 2, free. Counter hit launcher. Down for 2, free. That's a counter hit launcher. Back to 1. A counter hit launcher that will end your life. Quite literally. Oh, wait, what am I doing? He is so safe while threatening you with the most devastating launchers in the game. And not only is he safe many times, he actually builds momentum.
Someone asked me before, do you think Kazuya is stronger than Bryan or Bryan is stronger than Kazuya? I do really believe that Bryan is stronger than Kazuya, but you maybe write your ideas.
On you using these. And then we can get into Requiem, how strong that is. of course. Infinity Reach, unparryable mid-launcher in heat. And they've also removed a lot of his weaknesses. He used to not 50-50 too well. Hatchet
bro.
has really
Everyone
received
is
a lot
S-tier.
of buffs over the years. His poking used to be worse. They've done a lot to give him better poking. Like down 2 is +8. 14 frame startup mid, +8. Forces crouch. -2 on block. And again, counter it launching follow-up, that's only -10. You can check with down for 1. Hit confirm this. Very strong. His punishment used to be weak, but then they gave him this 12 frame. +8, 30 damage. Super strong. In Tekken 7, they gave him this 13 frame while sending 37 damage into wall splat. Super strong. And of course, anytime he blocks a sweep, he can now do a blue spark fisherman slam. If I can do it, there we go.
Kazuyo.
This is without resources. That is 90 damage without resources. And that can floor break. The sheer damage output is just absurd. Did you know down 4 is homing? It doesn't have a homing trail, but this low tracks to both sides super well. Look at the reach. And hits grounded. Only -11 on block. Even your 12 frame while sending punishers don't work on this.
Yeah, I used to always say that this move, like this low in high level, in my opinion, is the most problematic low that Bryan has. It's not head shit, it's not that other head shit, it's this. You can't do anything about this move unless fucking jumping over it.
And neutral.
And delayed hop kick.
As you can see on hit. And down back free. Like, the poking is strong. And the punishment is strong. If you're -14, you can buffer jet upper. You'll never drop a -14 jet upper. The punishment is very strong. He doesn't have a bullshit like a stance evasive, you know, spam character. But if you're a strong Tekken player, this guy has the best tools. Arguably, he has the best tools in the game if you're a fundamentally sound Tekken player. You can mention other characters like Nina, you can mention Claudio, they also do well, Fengwei. But Bryan is just up there #1 in terms of, if I get a launch, what does that give me? He's #1 in that list. No one gets bigger payoff from a launch than Bryan. This character is bullshit. I still respect Bryan players, I always have, but he needs toning down. And I say this as someone who loves this character, by the way. And this was me not even mentioning, you know, the new mix-ups, like back 1-2 there, into frames, into crouch. The new hatchet that's +7 from crouch. Why, oh why he got that stuff? I have no clue. But I hope this video was informative and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.
Okay, that was the Bryan breakdown. What do you think of it? Let me really think quickly. I think it was good. No bullshitting.
He's so impossible to.
He used to bullshit too much about Bryan's strength for the entirety of Tekken 8's lifespan, and now he said what we were saying all the time, so I don't have anything negative to say about that video. Now we go with Hwoarang. The thumbnail says that Hwoarang is game breaking, so let's see. Do you think that, where do you see Hwoarang? Where do you see Hwoarang? In the tier list, I mean. SSS? Okay, the Germans make sure to not write SS. Top 10, top 10, top 5, top 10, S tier, Z, top 5, top 7, top 10, top 15. Leg doesn't count. Don't play leg. Okay. The main man am I right in the assumption that the main man had a Hwoarang arc himself? Like, he is playing Hwoarang, yeah? Okay, let's see.
I don't know what the weakness is supposed to be of this character anymore. Let's pretend Hwoarang never existed, and then he releases in this current state, in Tekken 8, like a new character, everyone would lose their fucking minds. Because he's so impossible to deal with. I can't even fathom what it must be like being new to this game and playing against Hwoarang and just getting completely bewildered by what he's doing. And he also has no weaknesses now. They've patched it all out, and his new moves give me brain cancer, quite literally. So what do we mean when we say infinite pressure? This has characters ever since he dropped Tekken 3 in what, 98? I still remember playing, I'm 40 years old, I was there for Tekken 1. Still remember when Tekken 3 dropped and I played it with friends and everyone just immediately fucking hated this character. And everyone kind of saw this guy as a cheat code, the legal cheat, and also Eddie, like people just hated those characters. And it's because they spam a lot. They press a lot of buttons, and typically, pressing a lot, it has a lot of weaknesses. But with Hwoarang, holy shit, he takes spam to the next level. You gotta understand with Tekken that characters are allowed to do wildly different things. Like Xiaoyu plays her own Tekken. King, I mean, you thought you knew how throws work in this game? King, the wrestler, game-breaking throws. He throws like no other character. Like, characters are allowed in Tekken to do vastly different things and almost break the rules of the game. It's not like Street Fighter and Virtua Fighter where everyone sort of obeys by the same code and principles. In Tekken, characters do very unique things. This is a basic attack in Tekken. I press one button, right? I get a basic attack. I can also do something that is known as a string. This is a predetermined sequence of button presses. With Bryan, if I press left punch, left punch quickly, I get this. 1-2-1. Or I can do 4 hits if I do 3-2-1-2, like this. The way strings work in Tekken is that they typically leave you at a position of disadvantage when they're guarded. Or they will have holes where your opponent can duck and punish you greatly for it. They're usually weak. And usually when it ends, either I can get punished, my opponent can get a free hit on me, or I just lose my turn. I just lose my turn. I did this. Fair enough, you guarded that. Okay, I got a guard now. It's your turn. This is not how it works with Hwoarang. Hwoarang is seen as an infinity pressure character. And this is because Hwoarang, only character in the game, he can tailor make his own strings. He can infinity string. This is because Hwoarang alternates between 6 different stances. Neutral stance, left foot forward. Motion switch, right foot forward. He also has access to 2 instances of back towards the opponent, where he has unique moves from both of those. He also has right flamingo, right knee is held up. Left flamingo, left knee is held up. All of these different stances have unique attacks. And when he does his attacks, he will alternate between these all the time to create a completely unique sequence of attacks where he can do whatever he wants, basically. And you saw with Bryan, when I did my string, the number below there on frame advantage would go into red, -7, to indicate that, fuck, I kind of lost my turn there. I'm at a disadvantage when this is guarded. Look at the blue number now. You see that? Not only is it blue, but it goes quite high as well.
Yeah, but these are highs and Bryan did mids.
This is to indicate that
there is mids as well, but here specifically this one, for example, is a mid. But it should be plus, because it's slow. It's just a plus frame mid. What's the problem with that?
My opponent guards one of these attacks on block. It's heavily...
It's like saying a Mishima player does 1-1 on block, and it's like high, and there is no high disadvantage, and then he does, let's say, forward 4, and he is plus, and it's mid. Like Kazuya. I think this is not so... You're meant to down jab Hwoarang or use a full crouch move, or like you are literally meant to... His pressure of this character is highs. But let's see, okay.
In Hwoarang's favor. Heavily in Hwoarang's favor. This is the infinity pressure that is completely unique to Hwoarang. As long as he hits the opponent, plus 20.
But isn't the quick mid and the overhead punch walkable? Like, if they just brain deadly do that sequence, then you can just blow them up?
Plus 17. As long as this connects with the opponent, be it on hit.
My problem with Hwoarang is not these bullshit strings, bro. My problem with Hwoarang is other things. Down forward 2, counter hits, like a jab crush. His counter hit 10 frame launcher. His new low that he received for no reason that covers his weakness. Like, that is more important. This stuff here is not so important.
They get hit, or they block it. It's just Hwoarang's turn. Always Hwoarang's turn. Only if the attack whiffs, misses the opponent, is it not his turn, right? But even then, he'll recover super fast. So this is where you go, okay, holy shit. So if he starts wailing on me, like, it's a death spiral. It's a death tornado. But that means if I start swinging on him, his defense can't be that good, right? Well, that's where you would make your second biggest mistake. Because this guy has defense. If you miss any attack against Hwoarang, he will do this, and you go airborne. So combo starter, a launch. You can't miss any attack against Hwoarang. Right. If you try to press into him, he has a parry. He also has this move, which is down for 2. This is the universal safe on guard, safe on block combo starter launch. This has more reach than you'd think, looking at the animation. So if you ever try and press into him, he can do this, and you get launched on counter hit. If you try and do lows, he can do this, which is an orbital. This will launch you. This will jump over your low and launch you. This is also safe on block, meaning that if opponent guards this, you do not get punished for it. He can also do back 1, this move. He presses back 1, and he does a super evasive step to the right, and hits you. This is also not launch punishable. It's minus 14. Minus 15 is where you universally get launch, so heavy punish. So the character has defense. And now we're gonna get into the game-breaking defense. This is where the character, in my opinion, now turns into a complete joke. And this was already there in Season 1, but we're gonna get into how Season 2 completely mind-fucked us all on Hwoarang. So I'm gonna turn on counter hit. In short, infinite pressure character, right? Has defense, but when this guy is in heat, so this powered up heat state, you know, the new aggressive gameplay of Tekken 8, he becomes the best counter hit character in the game. So he goes from insane pressure, pretty dumb 50-50s, right? Strong 50-50s, strong power crush, you know, strong quite everything in terms of aggression, right? But now he gets the best counter hitting in the game. Why? Why does he have better counter hitting than a character like Bryan, who's supposed to be the king of that archetype? Or Steve? This is his standing right punch. This is 10 frames. This is the fastest attack in the game, right? Like a jab. When he's in heat, this is a counter hit launch. This is a launch from a jab. And then they do a combo.
This archetype of move should be universally removed from the game. What do you say, chat? Law has no business having this. Hwoarang has no business having this. Like, no one should have this. A 10 frame CH launcher. For what reason? What are you supposed to do with that? Don't remove the jab, remove the launching property. Like, fair enough, bro. Kick me away with this 10 frame counter hit joint and then run in with your while running like this kick on the ground and then let's play the game. Like, why would I get my entire family tree get fucked for eating a jab?
So fastest attack in the game, right? That is +3 on block, by the way. This character turns that into a launch. So then I want to ask you guys, a character with offense like this, should he have a launching jab when he is in heat? Say I want to do my jumping attack, up 4. This is plus on block and it evades lows and is very fast at 16 frames. This is also turned into a launcher. Also note the wall travel and note the damage. Forward 4, which is +8 on block. Oh, +9, +10, +9. Is also turned into a counter at launcher. Right foot forward, down foot 4, also a counter at launcher. This move is +4, right? As we saw before. His down back 4, we're gonna really discuss this move soon. This is the best low in the game. Down back 4, a low counter hit launcher. This move is also 6.
Remember when I said Bryan that low in high level is super like problematic and the best low this and that? This is the same. Down back 4.
16 frame startup, just like up 4. So these moves are as fast as it gets. Well, I mean, I showed you the jab launch, but then mid, counter hit launch, low counter.
This is worse. It's a bit different, but
low counter hit launch at 16 frames.
It's broken.
The mid is +3 on block and evades lows. The low is -1 on block. This is game-breaking stuff. And again, having a jab launch,
that is so unfair, bro. Like this one thing makes the Hwoarang matchup unenjoyable. Why do you think I jump like Super Mario? I don't want to be in the mix after blocking his low.
This is defense. This just adds to the character's defense. When Hwoarang is in heat state, he can do whatever he wants in terms of pressuring you. And also you are not allowed to press into him because jab death, right? You die from a jab. You also die from a low. What I'm about to show you is game breaking. And it's something that Lars got in Season 2, but everyone objected to it. And said, remove that shit. But Hwoarang is allowed to have it. I think like legacy characters who've always been in the game, they're allowed, you know, preferential treatment. Lars doesn't get to have it. Hwoarang gets to have it. Let's pretend Hwoarang never existed, right? And then he releases in this current state, in Tekken 8, like a new character, everyone would lose their fucking minds. Because he's so impossible to deal with. I can't even fathom what it must be like being new to this game and playing against Hwoarang and just getting completely bewildered by what he's doing. It's almost an art learning to deal with that character. It's so difficult. But so I'm gonna show you a really good low in Tekken 8. This is Kazuya's down back 4. It's a low poke at 20 frame startup. I'm gonna turn off counter hit. So I do that and I get damage.
How many Hwoarangs do you guys get in ranked? Depending on your rank, obviously, it's gonna be a bit different for everyone. I'm just gonna say from my experience. I used to get Hwoarang players a lot until I started to destroy most of them, and now I only get Kwis and maybe Vagboy sometimes. That's it. There's no one else. Like, for me, I don't get anyone. 1 or 2. I don't feel like there is so many Hwoarangs in high level for some reason. And I do quite understand why. Some characters in Tekken are designed in a way that from Fujin to Tekken King or from Fujin to Tekken God, let's say, you need to learn specific things in order to succeed. A character that is designed in the way Hwoarang is puts all the pressure on the opponent, and once you reach those ranks, then you will be stuck there for probably a year minimum until you learn all the stuff that you had to learn in Raijin.
I get advantage. It's +4. Still my turn. I can check my opponent. It's just a very, very good low. If my opponent guards this attack, Kazuya is -12, right? And he eats a punish. This is how lows universally work across the board in Tekken. They are not like mids and they are not like highs. Typically, highs and mids are allowed to be safe in Tekken, but lows are always...
Okay, I've seen this message now multiple times. Is the stream lagging? Or is it only for specific people? The stream is lagging. Maybe you should just use a different browser, because it can't be that some people lag and some people don't. I thought you don't like Tekken, the main man. I don't like him, but I can still watch his content and be neutral. It looks fine, okay.
Always punishable. Always. You block this, bagoosh. Kazuya gets punished. Any character uses a low, if it's guarded, they get punished. Hwoarang breaks this. Hwoarang's damage 4 does everything. Note the reach first and foremost. Tons of reach. Right? Decent enough damage. Also hits grounded. Also does the crucial thing of turning them around. You see how it flips the character.
Okay, I have a tip for the people that use ad blocks. My streams have no ads. Just turn it off.
Onto his stomach. It does this in Oki situations, and this means that the character getting up now will do so with their back towards me. This is super strong to have on a low. Super strong. So already it does all of this. Now, on block, if I choose to go into Flamingo, I'm only -1. What this does is that it turns on block, it turns this situation for my opponent into a mix-up. Turns it into a mix-up. If he tries to punish me, which you would typically do when you block a low, I can blow him up. Due to I'm -1, but when I am in that right Flamingo, with my right knee up, I have access to my flappy kicks. These are 8 frame startup. I'm -1 and then +8. That means my flappy comes out at 9 frames. So that will beat even my opponent doing a jab retaliation, right? Do you see this? So this is the mix-up I'm talking about. I just blocked a low, but if I try to do my fastest while standing punish, which is while standing 4-4, this is 11 frame startup, I get blown up. I got launched. Right? So I have to wait this out and then try and blow him up, right? But if I wait just the double flash.
Tip for people that don't like to lab. You can, for example, take advantage of your full crouch moves if your character has a good one, in order to not be in the mind game here. Kazuya can do full crouch 3+4. Jin can do full crouch 4, which will be also a counter launcher in that instance. Don't try to guess between him finishing or not finishing. Just do your attack while in crouch. So Lee also has his options. Just check your options in full crouch for this situation specifically, and you will have a much easier time in the future and less frustration.
Flappy, he can blow me up again, right? That can happen. Is he going to stop at simply Flappy?
He can do upward
so I can
3.
punish? Or is he going
well,
to
he
add
can
the third
do,
hit?
yeah, but...
So there's a little bit of a mix-up there as well. If you try and do your 10-frame crouching jab here, you can jump over it. This is also safe on block. Safe on block. This is already a brutal low, right? From everything I've shown you. When he's in heat, if this low counter hits, it's still -1 in heat. Nothing I've shown you changes when he's in heat. It just gets the added counter hit launch property, which you can confirm quite easily by paying attention to your opponent, see if they swing, note the counter hit, and just confirm into this. With everything I showed you, add that counter hit launch property in heat, and tell me that's not the dumbest low in the game. And Hwoarang also has the low down 3-4. This is the one you see spammed all the time. If you've played against Hwoarang anything, you've seen them do this and do it again. Just over and over, right? It's a natural low high +14, and then you take the mix, right? You guess the mix.
I think it is problematic here that this is -9.
Low high +14, and then you take them.
This here, why is that -9? Any Hwoarang player in the chat that can like maybe rationalize this in his head somehow with some mental gymnastics on how this should be in any shape or form in the game? -12 would be justified, -13 would be justified, -11 would be not so good, -10 would be too low, -9 is just literally not justifiable.
Mix, right? You guessed the mix. What's so obnoxious about this low is that it also has this problem where it can be very tricky to punish. It can do down 3-4 into power crush. Now I'm gonna try to punish. If I'm even slightly late, I get blown up, right? You see, you gotta be super fast. But if you wanna launch him, it's so difficult. So this is how Hwoarang, even with lows that you block, it sort of puts you in a mix-up blender situation. And you also, of course, have a threat of a flappies here as well.
This is why in Tekken 7 times, for example, we try to explain often to the people that there is specific characters in Tekken 8 where your defensive approach towards lows shall be different. One of those characters would be Jack, for example, because of safe lows. When you have characters like this where the punish is a mix-up, also Leroy, then you opt for low parries instead of block punishing. When you watch a high-level Hwoarang against a high-level, like, let's say, Kazuya player, the lows that the Kazuya player then blocks or Keisuke blocks are not blocks, they are always low parries. And that's why you see so many low parries in the Kazuya and Hwoarang matchup, or any matchup honestly with Hwoarang is normally you should just low parry all the time. So you don't get put into this like fucked up mind game of, yeah, can I now punish, or what am I supposed to do, get my fucking asshole raped, or...
Now, try to deal with this stuff when there's lag. Any lag, you know, and you're gonna drop that punish, you're gonna get blown up by Flappy or the power crush. And then also, of course, he'll do the backlash. So, this is homing backlash.
Okay, I'm gonna say now something which is maybe just my experience. I do duck this on reaction quite consistently. So, how do you guys deal with this? How do you guys deal with it? What, the stream is unwatchable? Is it that fucking bad? Okay, I restart my stream and I make like lower bit rates. Do you want me to do that? Okay, I restarted.